All right, let's go ahead and get started. I appreciate y'all coming in. Ordinarily, let's pretend the steps of the Senate are behind us. We came in because of the inclement weather, but we're here once again to call on Senator Harry Reid. We are now at day 45 of inaction, and I think that it's time that someone in the Senate take the reins. If Senator Reid is not willing to, we need some leadership over there so that we can move forward to responsibly fund our government and make sure that our troops downrange do not have their pay disrupted. That could cause a lot of damage to a lot of families in this country, and those folks that are right now in the process of sacrificing to secure our way of life here in this country do not need to have their pay threatened. And we're just calling on Senator Harry Reid. If he can't take action, then find someone over there who will, because our troops deserve it, our country deserves it. And I want to introduce the freshman class president, the gentleman from Georgia, Austin Scott.
I want to thank you for coming here and joining us today. And I again want to reiterate that 45 days ago we passed a bill to cut $100 billion worth of last year's deficit. The reason we had to take action on this was because Senator Reid and the Democrats that were in charge last year chose not to pass a budget. That quite honestly was irresponsible of them then. It's irresponsible of them now to continue forward without passing any type of long-term continuing resolution. The $100 billion, while they want to refer to words like radical and extreme and other things, the fact of the matter is it's less than 1 month's worth of the deficit. Less than 1 month's worth of the deficit. From our standpoint, quite honestly, many of us wanted to see us do more to reduce the deficit that Senator Reid and the others had done. But from their standpoint, their goal is the shutdown. And so if they do nothing, they achieve their goal. There's a lot of pain at the end of that for the American citizen. Pain that we don't want to see the American citizen have to bear. And we have given from our positions and tried to compromise with them. But think about this. 72 hours of debate in the House. 107 votes. 107 votes on the House side. In the Senate, they've had 4 hours of debate. 4 hours of debate and 4 votes in 45 days. Now, ladies and gentlemen, all I'm asking is that you understand that the House Republicans, especially the freshman Republicans, are doing what we can to avoid this shutdown. But Senator Reid's got to wake up in the morning, put on his big boy britches, come to the Capitol, and work with us to avoid this shutdown. And again, this deficit is unacceptable to the American public. If it had not been for the deficit spending of the last couple of years, many of us on this stage, including myself, probably wouldn't be here. We're going to continue to work to reduce that deficit, and we need Senator Reid to get up in the morning and come to work and quite honestly, just pass the bill, Senator Reid. That's all you have to do, pass the bill. Thank you.
Thank you. As you've noticed, we've had a continuing increase in the number of members who are supporting our effort, not only in the ranks of the freshman class, but also senior members. And we're issuing a follow-up letter to Senator Reid asking him to step aside if he's not willing to lead. And we had over 80 members sign that. And as you know, we have 87 freshmen, and we have gotten broad support from freshmen as well as senior members. I want to introduce another colleague in the freshman class, the gentleman from Indiana, Larry Buschon.
Thank you. I'll be brief. I'd like to say that I came to Congress because as a physician, the direction our country was headed in, not only in health care but on the spending front, was something that I no longer as a citizen could look at and look at my children honestly and say that I'm putting this debt on your future, on the future of your children. And I'm here today to support this effort to get the Democrat-controlled Senate to act and to do what the American people said that they want us to do in November, and that's to get the out-of-control federal spending under control. The description of extreme cuts is merely political. They want the government to shut down because they believe that it's in their best political advantage. I'm here to do what's right for the American people. What's right for the American people is for Senator Reid and the Senate Democrats to act on something. It's been 45 days they've not passed a bill. They haven't given us any options. They haven't given us any starting points to negotiate from. The other thing is when you talk about extreme, well, in the last 2 years, from 2008, discretionary spending, which was what we're looking at, has gone up by over 20%. We're just wanting to back that down to where we were before. So I'm proud to be here today to support this effort to get the Senate to act. The American people want the Senate to act. They want Congress to do its job. And I implore Senator Reid and the other Senate Democrats to come to work and to pass a bill so that we can get the American economy back on track, get people back to work, and move on and move forward. So thank you.
Thank you, Larry. I want to recognize my colleague from Washington, Congresswoman Herrera Beutler.
Thanks. And again, we're here because we have a mandate from the American people. Right? Get government spending under control. Do the things constitutionally that you're required to do as the government. And first things first, we need to fund the basic services. My colleagues here believe that our warriors who are fighting for our country right now deserve to get paid. We believe that those families that have sacrificed deserve it. So we've passed bill after bill to keep the government funded and keep our promise to the American people to reduce government's spending spree. It's got to stop. We have to stop spending money we don't have. Now, my challenge to Senator Reid and to Senate leadership, I mean the Democrats in the Senate, if you don't like our spending bills, pass one of your own. It's very simple. I keep hearing this. I've heard it from many of the folks here in this room. Well, they rejected your bill. Well, that's the way this works. Pass one you like. Pass one that you can stand by. I call on our senators to come to the light of day, to the House floor, to defend those things that they think need to be funded and to cut those things, that waste, that abuse, that fraud that they believe needs to be cut. It really is not a profile in courage that they're unwilling to take the votes on the Senate floor in front of the American people. I used this analogy earlier in the week, I mean, it was last week, it's all blending together now. It's like playing ping pong without a partner. The ball rolls off the table. That's what this exercise, I mean, we're passing bill after bill. We're passing spending resolution to keep this government funded, reduce the overspending, and the Senate has yet to release one bill, one plan, one blueprint. It's time for some leadership. Thank you.
Thank you. Joining us again today, a gentleman from Texas, Canseco.
Thank you. Well, once again, we're here today to implore Harry Reid to get to business, to look at our bill and to pass the bill. We have done our job to keep this government open and working for the American people. We are looking at a budget that spends 40 cents out of every dollar is borrowed. And on our continuing resolution that we've presented to the Senate, what it does is that it shaves off only 2 cents. That's not extreme. We in our families, people in my district, the 23rd District of Texas, shave more out of their borrowed cents than what we're doing right now with this continuing resolution. And remember that what we're doing is that we're patching up what the Congress, the 111th Congress failed to do last year. That is not extreme. What is extreme is, in the face of this terrible economic crisis, to hold on to every penny that they have appropriated and budgeted in other years and causing this crisis. They're holding on to every penny so that they can blame the Republican Congress for shutting down the government. Well, I'm telling you right here and now, we are doing everything in our power to keep this government open and keep this government functioning. But we need the cooperation of the Senate. Mr. Reid, you need to come to the table and you need to do your job.